In his professional life, he is Assistant Director for the Riverside County Department of Public Health in Southern California. In this role, he oversees a staff of more than 350 and works hard to ensure they know their why, the blue and why, at work. He joined Toadtmasters in 2008, and since then he served as club officer in virtually every role: a distinguished area governor, a president's distinguished division governor, and a distinguished district governor in 2013 and 14 in District 12 in Inland Empire. In August 2016, in Washington, D.C., I was there, and so quite a few of you. He was elected to the Toadtmasters International Board of Directors, one of only 14 in the entire international directors. Today, he will be presenting Ask Why. Please excuse me. Please join me in welcoming the warm, friendly, and extremely enthusiastic, distinguished Toastmaster, International Director, Michael Osur.
I love how Siri introduces me. Wow. Almost like I wrote it myself. Good morning, Founders District.
Good morning.
Why? Why? Children always ask why. And we love those children. They always start with why. We always start with why. What are the questions they ask? Why is the sky blue? Why is there color? Why are there clouds? Why is there rain? Why do you go to work? Why do you need money? How come you're never home? Why are you never with me? When was the last time you asked why? Or what is your why? What makes you want? And why do you do what you do? Early last month, after the Toastmasters Board of Directors meeting at the Disneyland Hotel, I got to go all the way to Anaheim. The board had a chance to tour World Headquarters. Raise your hand if you've been to World Headquarters. I'm sorry, I'm in Founders District. Raise your hand if you've never been to World Headquarters.
Nice.
You better go. There's only a few months left before Denver. Next week when I'm in San Diego, I expect a different response.
Yes.
So this was my first visit and tour of World Headquarters as a member of the Board of Directors. Now, I've always been treated well as a district director, but this was special. And there were enough of us, they split us into two groups. Can I say split, Siri? I know this is the year of the split.
The reformation.
The combined meeting next year, it's going to be different. So my group, Group A, of course, our first stop was County Executive Officer Dan Rex's office. Now, I've been to World Headquarters a dozen times. I've never before been even close to his office. And there was his desk and his chair. I immediately sat right down in that chair. But I thought I might put my feet up, and Dan was standing by his bookcase laughing at me, as he always does. Because Dan Rex never sits in his chair. In fact, in Denver, there's going to be no desk, because he doesn't sit in the chair, his desk chair. But right next to the bookshelf is a very comfy chair, and that's the one he likes to use. So I moseyed on over, sat right down there. The seat of power in Toadtmasters. Not really, because the members of the seat. And I look to the right, and there's a pile of books, because Dan is a voracious reader. And the top book, Start With Why, by Simon Sinek. And then, during the tour, we visited many of the managers' and supervisors' offices. Lo and behold, that book, Start With Why, was on virtually everyone's desk. I call that a clue. Why? I said to myself, why do so many people have this book on their desk? Something must be going on here. Later that evening when I got home, I perused my bookshelf in my office. Third shelf down, sitting on the side, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I thought maybe I should read that book from you, and I did. Hence, you get to hear this talk today. Well, in Mr. Sinek's book, he writes about the why. And he starts talking about the why of Apple computers and Southwest Airlines. I fly all over the country, all over the world, and I know all about Southwest Airlines and their why. Southwest is much more than an airline if you've flown them. And they, in their minds, do not compete with other airlines, obviously. No assigned seats, no food. But they have that, they know their why. They, in their mind, they compete with the automobile or a bus or a train. Why? Well, the founder of Southwest Airlines, Herb Kelleher, he saw Southwest as a new model of transportation, not as a competitor in the airline industry. He wanted his airline to be cheaper than driving or taking the bus. And he didn't see American Airlines or Delta as a competitor, and we know he didn't see United. But he saw Southwest Airlines as a disruptor. They changed the airline industry, and now everybody copies them. They know their why. Kelleher knew his why. Interestingly, at Southwest, the employees come first. Yet we fly them because of their customer service. The employees love their jobs. And then once they do that, then they can love their customers. As I said, no frills, no assigned seats, just like being on the bus. I'm always an A-list, so I get to sit in the exit row because I fly them so much. And again, you sometimes can get a pretzel, maybe peanuts or two. But they have a beautiful reward system. I fly free a lot on Southwest because I fly so much. And I go out of my way. Just ask the Toadtmasters International Travel Agency to fly Southwest. If Southwest can get me there, I don't care if it takes longer, I'm going to fly them. Their employees feel the why. And I love that their employees love their jobs. And I feel good being part of it. Now, Apple Computer is different, but also the same. We might think of them as starting as a computer industry, a computer giant. And well, they were and they are. But that's not the why. That's not Steve Jobs' why when he was alive. Their why was to totally upset the norm. They wanted to be the breakthrough company in technology. They always wanted to upset the status quo, if you remember their Super Bowl commercial. Now, they didn't invent the gadgets, they didn't even invent the software that they use, but they made it workable for all of us. And if you think back a few years, the iPod, smartphones, iPhones, iWatch, all of it, and they make it intuitively workable. And for a while, I resisted Apple because I thought they were too cool, and I wasn't cool enough. But eventually I get cool enough, right? And the gadgets just work. And I know there's a lot of Android users out there. I don't understand Android. It makes no sense to me. I know it's cheaper and that's better. Apple's the way to go. Because we get there a lot. They get there a lot. They knew if they focused on innovators and early adapters, they could change the world and disrupt technology. And change the way we live. There's no doubt that Apple gets their own why. Apple and Southwest Airlines get their why. What's the why in Toastmasters? Madam District Director, what's the why in Toastmasters? We'll get to that in a minute. Last night we heard a lot from Naomi about Dr. Smedley. Luckily she didn't use my favorite quotes. Dr. Smedley wrote 90 years ago, imagine, Toastmasters is the only organization dedicated to the individual. We work together to bring out the best in each of us and then apply those skills to help others. That's why we love Toastmasters. So there I was sitting in Dan Rex's office, looking at his book, and I said, Dan, what's the why of Toastmasters? And he came right back. Michael, member achievement at the club level. Remember the strategic plan we talked about last night? Member achievement at the club level. Well, that is one of the whys of Toastmasters. And I was reminded of noted poet and author Edward Codenham. He said, if you don't ask the right questions, you don't get the right answers. So I suggest the right question is, why? So I call it the 5 whys. And let's look a little more deeply at what that means. So why number 1? Dan Rex said the why of Toastmasters is member achievement at the club level. Is that your why? Is that all there is to Toastmasters? Or why is member achievement so important? We're all members. So we can go a little deeper. Let's ask why again. Why number 2? Because member achievement signifies that we are beginning to learn who we are. In Toastmasters, the more we talk, the more we discover ourselves. Now we're getting somewhere. So why is it so important to begin to learn who we really are? Why number 3? Well, perhaps because when we do that, we can inspire others to find their voices, and they can begin to become who they really are. And I think we saw that even last night in the table topics. And I know we'll see it this afternoon, this evening in international speeches. So let's ask why again. Why is it so important for others to find their voices and begin to know who they are? I like this. Because we become more fulfilled as people. Think about that in Toastmasters. It's not just speaking, we become more fulfilled. Well, why is becoming more fulfilled as a person so important? And why number 5? Because then we can make a difference. We can begin to make a difference in our communities and in the world. And if anyone doubts, Toastmasters can change the world. 142 countries, 16,000 clubs, 350,000 members worldwide. So think about this for a minute, or a second. We asked why 5 times, and we went from member achievement in the club to making the world a better place. This is the power of understanding the why. What is your why in Toastmasters and in your life? Why are you in Toastmasters? Who's my runner? Let's ask Siri. Why are you in Toastmasters, Siri?
Because I...
Is that a battery?
Out of battery.
Is it on?
Oh, it says not.
There it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
No.
One more time.
No?
Press it.
All right. Because I love learning. And this is the way I can continue to learn, improve myself. And now with the big family over here, I can also help others learn as well.
So she gave us 3 whys right there. Good job, Siri. Anybody else? Why are you in Toastmasters on this side?